campus, I saw the glass blowing studio, and there's a big arts and crafts wing at this college. And I kind of had an epiphany when I saw them like pulling the big molten glass down from a big lather. They were making cane, Sheridan. And so I took the glass blowing program, and like that was in 2003. And I've kind of never looked back, man.
What up, y'all? I'm Steve, and welcome to another exciting Elev8, where we sit down with some cool ass artists in this industry. First, we have this really cool ambassador program. You can join as an Elev8 doll or an Elev8 chant, and it's really awesome. You get to help us build Elev8. It's super unique, super special, and you're really a part of something special. Check out Elev8ambassador.com to learn more. Another cool thing we have is our Elev8 Veterans program. I'm really honored to be a part of it. Teresa helps run it, and it's super awesome. We get to rehabilitate and reacclimate veterans into society our way. And you know what? I think we're doing it right. Go check it out at Elev8veterans.com. Third, there's Elev8 Bingo. It's super cool, super fun, and we get to show you more of what we do. And on top of that, every game there's a chance to win $50 credits for Elev8glassgallery.com. Go check it out. And now, let's roll into this super awesome Elev8. Well, welcome to Elev8. We got Matt Robertson today. I'm super excited, man. Thank you for joining us here.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, it's a super honor. I got to hang out with you on my birthday once, and that was super cool. You were super just hospitable. It was great, and your work just blows my fucking mind. And so, you know, it's an honor.
Appreciate that.
I
remember that. Yeah, you came up to the shop on your birthday. That was fun. You brought your wife. That was cool.
Well, she's not my wife. She's my partner. But you know, I mean, no difference. But
sorry.
I mean,
yeah.
It's all good. She's amazing. We started all kinds of this Elev8 Veterans thing, and she's cool. She's a rock star.
Awesome. Yeah.
But how did you get into this crazy thing of glass, man? It's because you got to be kind of nuts to do it. And
yeah. Well, my story is that I've always been into animation. So I was after high school, I was trying to get into this animation school called Sheridan College up in Canada, and it's like the Harvard of animation schools. Disney hires from there. So I guess I kind of slacked off on my application when I was 18 years old, whatever, and I didn't get in. So I just took some random general arts and sciences programs, philosophy, a few other things. And while I was hanging out on the campus, I saw the glass blowing studio, and there's a big arts and crafts wing at this college. And I kind of had an epiphany when I saw them like pulling the big molten glass down from a big lather. They were making cane.
And this was
what is this? Glass. And then
this was soft glass.
This is soft glass, furnace glass. Yeah, like big vases and stuff. And I just kind of had an epiphany. I was like, do I want to work for Disney for the rest of my life and have a boss and kind of do paperwork and report to this person, whatever? And I said, no, I think I want to try this 3-year program at Sheridan. So I took the glass blowing program, and like that was in 2003. And I've kind of never looked back, man. Then I graduated in 2007 from it. And yeah, man, like we moved out to Eugene, Oregon for a little bit, thinking I could like pay the bills off of big vases and goblets, but that really wasn't the case. There was a recession in America at that time. Mm-hmm. So I got into making pipes then. I kind of had some background skills, like, you know, I kind of knew the material a little bit, but it was boro. Then I started getting into boro from that point. And then the whole legalization thing happened around that time. It was like, that was a good time to be in pipes back then, 2007, 2008.
Yeah, that was a minute ago. Still at this time, you know, you're.
Yeah, I mean, it'll almost be 20 years since I started next year, so quite a long time.
Do you know? This is what I usually ask later. Do you still have the same love and passion today as when you first started?
That's an interesting question. I do totally. I mean, things have changed, and it's like the more you know about glass, when you're designing a piece, you kind of think, oh, that's going to be too hard. Like that's going to be take too much time. So back in the day, I would kind of design a piece and I'd just work to get it out, and I'd learn a lot. But now that I know like the principles, qualities of it, it kind of maybe hinders my design a little bit. I kind of make things that are more my screen keeps going dark here, but I still love it just the same. It teaches me a new thing every day almost. It's a challenge every day. We're still learning new things. There's new colors coming out. I mean, the equipment alone over the last 20 years has been just like dialed in, and the colors too. I mean, back in the day, there was only three colors. There was cobalt, red, and like fume, like way
Right.
back in the day, like in the 80s and 90s. So, um, yeah, I mean, it still teaches me something new almost every day.
Right.
So,
Do you still have anything
yeah.
hit the water bowl or anything like when you're trying to step outside your box and everything?
The what? Pardon me?
Do you still have something hit the water
Sorry.
bowl? Yeah. So like something crack on you, you're experimenting, you're trying to push your limits and then
Oh yeah, yeah. Just the other day, like right before Vegas, when I saw you last, I was trying to make three pieces for it, and I was just finishing a piece. I was putting the joint in it. It was all done. Last step, putting the joint in before you finish it, and the whole thing broke off the blow handle and like smashed into a million pieces on the ground. And I was like, I didn't have any more time to make a piece, but I did. I stayed up all night and made that same piece.
you didn't have no more time, but you
But
did
like
it.
I made it happen somehow, dude. Like I wasn't gonna let it defeat me like that, and I made it. It was better. It was, um, but yeah, I was like, how did I not see that little crack in the blow tube? I didn't even see it. I guess I was tired, but I learned a lot, and I just kind of went through it again. But yeah, that hurt. That hurts more than like anything really. I kind of a few tears shed that day. So
Right.
now he's in a coffin.
I always still wonder about, artists at your level and whatnot. Do they still have pieces break on them and shit? Cause
You do, man. You totally do. I mean, it could be a color fit problem, just could be an off day. Um, Especially when you're doing something new and pushing the boundaries, that's bound to happen once in a while.
right. What is your favorite color to work with if you only had a color to use at this,
Uh, hmm,
which would suck.
my favorite color to work with. Well, it's definitely not cadmiums. I'm more drawn to like the smooth and buttery colors just because the way I work a little hot. I like it flowing all the time. I like my torch kind of quiet, but yeah, if I had to take two colors to an island, deserted island with me, it would probably be like honey badger and silver strike, and I can make drafts all day long with that. So,
Right on. Right on. What color are you just don't put it near me. I don't need it.
um, well, I have an all spider web little giraffe goat piece that's over on my shelf over there, and like those adventurine colors, man. Like I don't know if it's the kiln, like, but this thing is like spider web throughout. So I try. I mean, I try and stay away from those a little bit. I really
But they still
don't
call you
know
in.
why some. Yeah, they still call me. I'll like buy it and fuck with it, but I yeah, I heard the crystals grow at like when it's a little bit too hot in the kiln. So then I lowered my kiln, but still sometimes it happens. So I don't know. Maybe they're just not as stable as some of the other colors. I like that blue cheese there though. That's a pretty buttery, bright color on your
Yeah.
moose there.
Yeah. I love that color. It's just a beautiful color. And I think that's a greasy glass color, right?
I think you're right. Think it's hard for me to stay on top of all the colors, names, and the companies, but I'm pretty sure that is greasy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful color. You can't see, I don't know how you do it, but like there's no welds in there. And I know there's welds there, but you can't see them. They just smooth out and that color, it just transitions really well. And I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah.
I,
So how did you I mean, that's been for a minute you've been blowing glass. Did you have any mentors going through? So I know you did soft glass as well. Did you have a different type of
yeah.
mentor in there as like you did in the bore world?
I did actually. Like some of my instructors were descendants of like working for Chihuly and stuff. This guy Blaze Campbell, he was really inspiring teacher to me, and I asked him for a lot of design advice and things when I was going to school. And when it came to Boro, I mean, I had a gallery in Toronto, outside Toronto and Burlington, Ontario. And we started inviting some of the American Boro workers to come up, teach a class, and they do a show at my gallery. And that really like opened all of our eyes, all the Canadian flame workers at the time, to like these new techniques, working with frit. Just it wasn't really available up there yet. There was no classes, there was no teachers that were really doing it. There was a lot of soft glass being made, like beads on the torch, beads and little sculptures and stuff, Moretti,
Right.
soft glass, but there was no real Boro up
Was
there
your
yet.
was
So
your studio soft glass and bore, or was it a mix
no,
of
it was
soft?
my first studio was just a Boro studio,
Okay.
like my first personal one. But I was a resident artist at the Living Arts Center, and I would teach classes there, doing soft glass still. And yeah, but we never owned a hot shop. No, that's too much, man. That's like you're married to it, and you don't get to leave, and you got to keep charging up the furnace, and you're once you charge it, you're committed to it. Otherwise, you're just wasting gas.
And that's probably why they're at these
So
big schools or big institutions and whatnot. And
yeah, it costs a lot of money to keep that going, and you got to keep it busy to make it worthwhile.
I was reading something about just because of all the inflation and whatnot, and this was like 6 months or a year ago, just how in Italy, they're potentially going to go out of business because it costs so much to keep all the furnaces going and shit like that.
No way.
Yeah,
Wow, I
yeah,
didn't hear that.
yeah. It was a pretty
In Morano, maybe.
yeah. So hopefully it doesn't go away. And I know they're probably on a little island, so they got to ship shit in, and it's just jacks the cost
I
up.
heard, yeah, like Morano, the island, is like they keep their secrets really tight over there. They don't let people. I mean, that was back in the day, but
Well, that's almost
that's I
like
heard stories about that.
that feels like that's almost like the bore world. You've been in this quite a minute. Do you feel I don't know, there at certain time, maybe 10 years ago, there was a transition when blowers would keep stuff like a lot more secretive compared to now, or do you feel they were always open?
Me personally, everyone's been really open to me and my studio and my gallery. They would come, they would teach classes. But I have heard like back in the 90s and early 2000s that, people would show you the wrong way to do it, or they wouldn't tell you. And, I mean, now with YouTube, you can pretty much find anything you need on there for a little lesson, some kid doing a demo.
Right, right,
So I mean, I haven't really experienced too much of that. So
right. Well,
I think people are pretty eager to, not eager to share, but they're pretty open to sharing, some friendly camaraderie. You're trying to one up the next person, maybe a little bit, next new style. But with the internet and Instagram and everything, you can't really keep it a secret for too long these days.
it's pretty neat
You got to
like
put the work in.
right, and it's pretty neat like that, how like it is camaraderie and it's friendship, yet everybody is still like we're a species, a competitive species, and so everybody's up in it. And maybe Instagram has helped really push the glass game a lot, but something is pushing it hard. It's nuts.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Because you get to see everyone's piece, their weekly piece that they post or whatever. So you get to see what's out there. Before, you'd have to, go to the show or I mean, I don't know, get an email sent to you with what their work is, like before Instagram. I mean,
Or hope
wasn't
that
really like
a
that.
head shop had it in there for you, your local head shop. And
Or go to the head shop. Exactly. Go to the head shop, go to the store, the gallery. Yeah.
those are usually only in bigger cities to really get the volume and get the stuff in there. So yeah, Instagram's really cool.
Totally.
Uh, have you,
Yeah.
on the outside of the soft glass, have you taken any Boro classes or anything? And do you find that have that they find?
Yeah. I mean, um, actually, when I took the banjo class, it was banjo, Scott Depp, and Mike Fro here in Colorado. Actually, I was still living in Canada. I flew here. I took that class, and then I went home and made something. I think I made like my first like full size giraffe riding a tricycle after that. And just seeing those guys work, that class literally changed my life. I think it
Really?
was I think it's super beneficial. I'm actually thinking about just like going and taking someone's class right now. I don't know, like I really have been thinking about that, kind of learning some new techniques. You kind of get into you get into a groove, but then you kind of get boxed in with sometimes when you're doing your own thing. So just go take someone else's class, like a Millie class. I'd love to do that. I think that'd be really helpful. I think that's super helpful for any glass blower
Well, hey
trying to
man,
trying to
if you're
make it.
if you're free in June, we're working to get Micro down here, so it'd be cool.
Oh yeah, he's gonna come stay with me. Well, he's
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
We're playing. Nice. Oh, so he's teaching the class with you guys there?
yeah. I asked him if he could come down. He's like, "Well, I'm hitting up Robertson. I'm going up there. Maybe I'll make it a trip." And I was like, "Well, fucking, we'd love to have you down here." So, well, you already know him, so
Cool.
maybe you'll do something else. But, um,
Yeah, maybe I'll just come be a guest TA one day. Come out and
yeah,
bug him. Say, how come you're doing it like that?
yeah. So, what kind of other styles would you like to get into? You mentioned Millie's, or what else would you like to expand your horizon in?
I don't really do any fuming. So I mean, I'd like to maybe go take a fumer's class. All that computer stuff, like where you're putting patterns onto the glass. I would really like to learn more about that. And you sandblast away and then,
Right.
pick it up like a grawl. Yeah, I would like to learn more about that. So maybe that one day, who knows? I
Hell yeah.
got two kids now, so it's hard to find the time, but
Right. And then you mentioned the grind, that you got to put in the grind. So you having a wife, two kids, uh, all that stuff. How do you find the time to still put in the grind? Because I'm sure you're doing, 10 plus hours a day.
yeah, I mean, I like to get up really early. I'm an early bird, so I get up early. I'm the most productive in the morning and kind of wrap my day up, 2, 3, 4. If I'm doing a collab, it could go all night. If doing a real special piece, maybe I'll work later. But too. So if you got to spend, there's a million other things you got to do to like have a successful business too and
Right.
have a shop. So, but yeah, I like to. I don't want to burn myself out. I've done that before. So I try and kind of have a nice balance now. If I see I'm working a little bit too much, maybe I'll like try and take some more time off. Um,
Nice.
yeah,
How long did
yeah.
it take you to figure out that balance? Was that once you had a kid, or was it
Uh, I probably started noticing it maybe a couple years before I had kids, just like working too much, traveling too much,
Mhm.
and then getting burnt out, really burnt out. And then, you're like that. So I kind of, it's not so much like this anymore. Maybe it's more like this. And then I kind of, the valleys and the peaks are a little spread out now. But yeah, with two kids, I mean, that's my life now. So, I mean,
right?
I love spending time with them.
Right. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Um, what's your preferred style or technique that you like now? Is it mostly sculpting? Because it seems like you do rig and sculpt type mixtures.
Yeah. I mean, my preferred style of working is is just flowing, hot and flowing and sculptural. Like when I have to make something precise, that's a lot more stressful for me. Some people are really good at that, and it's the opposite for them. But like the big flowing necks on that piece you have there,
And do you find
more
maybe
organic.
that's
Organic.
where
Pardon?
you find maybe that's where the animals have worked well for you, because like it gives you the flow, and like somehow they all got fucking life in there, a lot of life and character, and you just capture it with the flow, I guess.
Yeah. That's probably exactly why I do that.
Just life
There's no
as well.
real, yeah, yeah. You know, I love animals. Like animals are like little furry aliens or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm just really drawn to them, and to be able to sculpt them, I just feel like it's my uh what's the word? I'm not doing good on this question. Well, let's just move on from this question,
Yeah.
if
How
that's
did you get
cool.
how did you get into the animals and everything like that? Because before you were doing soft glass, were you doing animals in there as well? And
No,
you've
I was doing.
done
I have
farms.
some examples up here of what I do in soft glass, but I used to do really organic, like big blades of grass, and I'd have three of them, and they'd have like a big clear ball on them. They were very sculptural. I don't know if I can move the camera to see it. Well, I guess I'm not plugged in here, but like I don't know if you can see some of. Oh, where
Oh
you
wow.
see those pieces up there? Those are some of my like pieces I made in like 2007, 2008,
Wow, man. That's nuts.
or probably 2005 and 6 actually. Those two, yeah. So they
Wow.
were very, it's like nature, dude. Like I just like nature a lot.
Right.
um, I just find it amazing. It's just cool. So I guess that's what I use as my inspiration.
Right. That's usually a question I ask too, is where do you get your inspiration from? And so it seems like nature.
Nature.
And there's
Yep,
tons of it
it is.
out there. It's just all over the place. So yeah, you can get
Yeah,
lost.
everything's going the other way now. Everything's going digital, and like NFTs, and just everyone's inside on their Oculus all day long.
Yeah, I don't know about that world, man. It's I like holding something there. It's fragile, like I don't know. It's different.
Yeah.
And that's it too about this kind of stuff is, there's gold, there's things out there, but man, something that is human made, once that person stops, it's never again. It can never be created by another human being like something else can, but that person's shit can't be created by another human. And it's just really neat how
Yeah.
rare humans are. Uh,
Yeah. I agree with you.
do you get to collaborate often?
Every once in a while, maybe like one a month, like maybe if it's a small piece, I don't know. Yeah, with two kids, and I'm kind of like 8 months out with orders. I've just committed to.
Well, congratulations.
But yeah, I mean, collabing is great. I love when someone comes to town. Like I cannot wait to collab with Micro next month or
I bet.
whenever next. Yeah, yeah. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. Um, what's the most amount of time you've ever put into a piece before?
Um, I guess it would be my DFO piece. It was me and Hoobs. We made that Noah's Ark chess set,
Mm-hmm.
and that took me a month of making all the little pieces, and like, I made the bodies at the show, but I kind of prepped the heads, but making all those little chess pieces took me a month. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. And it's not a giant piece, but to make them all there and do it, and it becomes a super massive
Yeah.
detailed piece.
Yeah. It really got a lot bigger when we were there.
Right. Right. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Have you ever got to compete in any events before?
I've done the DFO and I've been in the DFO champs. I think I competed in a few champs. I did, yeah.
Do
Um,
you enjoy the pressure of those events, or do you just enjoy the camaraderie?
I the pressure of those events. I mean, I used to. Yeah, I guess when I was like a little bit younger, I used to. Now not so much, man. Now I just want to like stay more close to home, travel with the family.
Enjoy
But
life
it changes
differently.
all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'm enjoying life differently, totally.
right. Do you got any hobbies
Mhm.
outside of glass? I guess besides the family. I mean, you're pretty full.
Well, I did join the curling league around
All
here
right.
at the curling center. Yeah, that was fun. Trying to get another team started.
That seems like a rare thing to hear. I'm on a curling team.
It was awesome, dude. It's like 20 minutes from my house. And yeah, yeah, I met a lot of other Canadians there too. It was cool.
That's cool, man.
Um,
That's neat.
yeah. Uh, and I also mountain bike and I like to play drums a little bit, play guitar, you know. I'll probably give you a little walk around tour of my shop too, if you'd like.
Oh, that would be awesome, man. We'd love that.
Okay. Sweet. Well, yeah, when you're done with the questions, I actually, you got the Justin Janicki piece in there. Justin's here today.
Oh,
So
really? Yeah, that
we go
yeah,
say,
this
yeah,
that's a beautiful piece too, man. Like I like my little collection I got.
thank you. Yeah, his terrazzo print's awesome.
Yeah, it's out of this crazy world. It's one of those things that it makes you say, how did you do that? And I think that's what's glass. Um, all your stuff. It's just the character that you get on there. How'd you do it? It was great. I brought it to the studio today, and everybody's like, little tiny teeth, like the detail is amazing. Do you find that very stressful to get that detail in there and everything?
No, not really. No, I mean, sometimes yes, but it's not really stressful. It's challenging. Sometimes like on a smaller piece, it gets a little more challenging.
So you find
I
the
just
smaller
made
the
I
piece,
made the smallest pendant ever today. Actually, I'm gonna go grab it. Can I go grab it for a sec?
please, that'd be great. I think that's awesome.
Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah.
This tiny little guy today. So
Yeah, it's
I,
about
I
as
would say
big
it's
as
a
your
little more.
fingernail.
Yeah, it's tiny. I mean, there's my finger.
So do
Yeah,
you
so
find that
he's
really hard to do something so
that's a little
small?
more difficult because the glass is just cooling down faster and it doesn't move.
And
It moves the same, but it's just kind of
you got to
it's
get the
just a
same
little more
pattern on there.
challenging.
You get the same
Yeah,
pattern,
same pattern.
just a lot smaller. And
Yeah, so it's all the same steps really. And it's just you gotta be there's less room for air, when it's super tiny. But
right. What can we look forward to in the future from you?
the future of glass for me, I'm planning on doing some like just more fully sculpt, big like did you see that Tony Montana piece that I did recently?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, I just posted it like maybe like a week ago, but like that was a pretty cool piece. That was like I bought the model of Tony Montana like holding his gun,
So you could
and
sculpt it there and get the full 3D.
yeah, it was very helpful having the pants, like um just seeing the pants, the little curves in the pants. Like I tried to do them as realistic as possible. And yeah,
When you do your
it was
giraffes
it
and
was
your
really helpful having the toy there.
when you do your giraffes and your other things, do you maybe not now, but did you have a creature there too to look at? And
I had a picture that my buddy Tommy Cudmore gave me, and it was just like a giraffe that like he gave like a picture of a giraffe in the wild, and that's kind of what I used to kind of at the beginning to kind of sculpt out the face, but now it just comes naturally.
Do you feel your giraffe face had, like, when you look at 1 and 2 compared to what you're doing now, have they completely changed?
Yeah, a little bit. I've noticed. Yeah, they're kind of more cartoony now. Maybe they were a little bit more realistic back when they first came out, maybe.
But that almost goes back to, I guess, who you are, because you wanted it to be a cartoonist. To
Oh my God, yeah. Well, that reminds me of like you asked me about what my future plans are. I can't even really talk about them on this show, but like, uh, I think everything does come full circle. Like when I went to school for animation, maybe that was my real calling, and then I made these creatures out of these characters out of glass. Dude, how cool would it be to have a cartoon about that? You know,
love it, man. Well,
but that would be sweet.
that's cool. Well, I look forward to the cartoons and the whole storyline coming out, because I mean, like, I could see it's like
Yeah,
the whole Simpsons thing.
yeah.
It's you instantly know it's a Matt Robertson piece with the character of the face that, I mean, whatever it is, it's the right character. It's like the Mickey Mouse, so you fucking nailed it,
Nah,
man.
yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, well, if you would like to still give us a quick look of your studio, I don't think a lot of blowers get to see
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that in your fans.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna do a little walk. So this is my little like kind of kitchen area in here. We got Justin crushing out. Ooh. He's got one of your pieces on the table.
Yeah.
Collabo.
Oh yeah.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Great, man.
See ya.
Oh, some water, yes. So we got just a few benches here, Kabuki, a couple ninjas, my little drum set area.
Just a place for you to be you, man. Do you have people come over and jam with you then as well?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, my neighbors actually coming by and tuning out my new skin a little bit. I'm gonna, he's a pro, so he's gonna tune it up a little bit for me. Just picked it up yesterday.
Nice.
But yeah, that's the tour. Then I got like a little apartment in here too. It's pretty cool. Thank you,
Well,
Steve.
Hell yeah. Well, that's pretty much it for me, man. It was an honor to have you here. And
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll see you soon, I'm sure.